I've always loved animals, even as a boy, watching those Disney movies on repeat, reliving the joy. I'd play with my farmyard for hours, each one in their place, not knowing how in my game versus reality I'd given them more space, more love, more patience, kindness and empathy too. Oh little naive Andy, then what happened to you? I guess I disconnected, still not aware of the abuse, just got on with growing up, not thinking about my food. I still loved animals though, or at least I thought that I did, without really giving much thinking into what each had to give, for me to have my Domino's, my KFC or my chocolate milkshake, now in my teens and still not concerned with how it ended on my plate. As I continued to grow myself, I prevented others doing the same, no thought for the impact, the consequences or how I was to blame. More time passes by and I'm an adult now, thinking it's time to settle down, but still not considering how my choices stopped other earthlings being around. A little bit older, grumpier, 2 kids later and now I volunteer and rescue. Same time I started to connect the dots, ask questions, seek the truth. Became vegetarian, started fostering and petitioning, I thought that was enough. Clipped my first animal, joined a subgroup, began to feel dead proud and stuff. No longer eating any meat, but still was addicted to eggs and dairy. Fairly short-lived though, and didn't help at all to prepare me. To have my perceptions once again shattered before my very eyes. Spending time on a dairy farm, saw a birth, and still hear those cries. We weren't even there for the cows, we were there to check in on a puppy mill, but what I saw, heard and felt next door haunts and harasses me still. Fast forward just shy of 8 years later and I'm still vegan, feeling better inside and outwards, not feeding on anything bleeding. If I could go back and edit something though, if somehow that were a choice, I'd go back to when I was a child and I'd have never stopped being their voice. See, there's a reason those movies all picked animals to play their lead parts, because kids all love them, at least before the influence starts. It comes from the adults, the parents, the teachers, the peers, the distance and language, the straight up bullshit and fear. Why do we do this? Let them establish that connection and then take. Why not offer them the choice? Is it because we know which one they'll make? If they cried about Mufasa, Dumbo, Bambi, Marley or Hooch, then how do you think they'd feel if they knew the truth about food? It's our jobs to teach them, to guide them the very best that we can, so why are we feeding them babies, calling it sausages and ham? I'm by no means suggesting that we subject kids to harrowing visions, but instead as their carers that we just make some different decisions. So let's make some changes, encourage the respecting of all life, and show how other beings that we know more than just a knife. We need to be more honest, more courageous and more succinct. Compassion and understanding, these are our human instincts. Make it our aim for all forms of exploitation to go extinct. For us, our kids, for them, for the world and beyond, it's now the right time for us to acknowledge all these wrongs, else otherwise it's too late to act once everything's gone. So let's be better, seek better, think better, and for all of us to break free, for them to be released from the cages, stages and their lives of slavery, for us to break away from the misunderstandings and conditionings of society, and form a new one that's structured around showing far more empathy. Because I know that we can be the futures that we all want to see. It's just going to take some serious effort from you all, including me, with a lot more giving and a lot less taking. It won't be that long before we see the changes we're making. Read up, I didn't want to make any sacrifices either, just like you, before I realised and accepted that I had some serious me work to do, but now that I have and I know that it was all just an excuse, because trust me, if I can do it, then tell me why can't you?